Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode. Today we're talking about the great debate that's been going on in different social media spaces, and that is, should a woman go 50-50 with a man? And furthermore, are you less of a man because you don't have the financial capacity to pay all the bills and take care of everything financially, and you need your woman to kick in? Let's get into it. A conversation between a rich man and a not so rich man. Let's go.
It's hard out here. And you talking about, oh, I'm not a man if I'm going 50-50 with my woman. It's hard, brother. You sitting up here, your nice house, your nice jewelry, nice cars. Oh yeah, man, you gotta do 100%. How? How, brother? If I'm making $14 an hour, what you expect? You know, you still on there. Oh yeah, man, 100%. You're not a man. You're not a man. How? I'm still working. I'm still providing, right? So what makes me not a man? Because I'm going 50-50 with my woman.
And brother, I applaud you because I understand that it is hard out here, but we are men, so we have to go harder. I'm not saying or trying to speak down to you, my brother, by any means necessary. I'm not. But I want you to be reminded of something that our fathers didn't teach us, that we must go hard and that we shouldn't get into a relationship with a woman until we have direction.
But who are you to say that?
A person that cares, a person that loves you, a person that's been in your shoes and understands how it feels when we can't give our family what they truly deserve. We have to go hard. Now, give me one moment. I've been in your shoes. And when I was in your shoes, I stayed in my lane. I lived where I lived. My woman didn't work. She nurtured to the children till I got this. And I'm trying to give you the cheat code. Do what you need to do so you can feed your woman, and while she's nurturing the children, she can also nurture your dreams and your goals. Now you can be successful. Now you don't have to say, I'm working for $15. Now you can say, I got employees that I'm paying that's working for me for $15. I'm trying to elevate you, but men get so caught up in their emotions and their pride, and the first thing you want to do is feel attacked. Get the wisdom.
This is coming from a rich man.
Right now you're acting triggered, but right now you're acting triggered.
But this is coming from a rich man.
But how did I get here?
Yeah.
But how did I give you? And I'm giving you the steps. This is, if you put down your ego, if you put down your pride, brother, am I saying anything wrong? I'm saying men should be men.
But you saying we not men. You saying we not men.
Brother, any man that makes an excuse can't be a man completely. You can be a male. A man comes with responsibilities, and it's hard. To be a man, it's hard, brother. It's not easy. That's why the respect you want from your woman that you don't get, I get from mine.
My woman respect me.
Hold on.
My woman respect me.
You think she respects you.
My woman respect me.
You think she respects you.
Brother.
You think she has she ever raised her voice at you?
No.
Does she cook for you every night,
Of
brother?
course.
So she respects you, cooks for you every night. Does she clean the house?
Of course.
She cleans the house, and you got her working 16 hours a day. That sounds like slavery.
No, it's not.
Brother, you got her cooking every night.
I don't have her doing anything. She does it because she wants to. We in the trenches together.
The trenches together?
That's what we in.
Brother, do you know anything about emotional abuse?
Explain it.
Emotional abuse is when you pour all your hurt and pain onto a woman, and just because you can't see her scars, you think it's okay. If I had a conversation with your woman, she'll probably start crying. They tired. They not built to go through what they're going through with you. She didn't choose you to struggle.
But again, who are you to say that?
Brother, a brother that loves you. And again, I'm trying to give you the cheat code. If you put yourself in a position, right? You work. If you have to get two jobs, you grind, allow your woman to do what she does in the home. If you have a business idea, you have her nurture that, hey, baby, it's going to be a little hard for the next 2 years. But if we move like this, we're going to be good. You keep saying, who am I to tell you this? A man that's been in your position. A man that has risen above your circumstances. And I'm coming back down to say, this is what you do. You're not a man until you move like this. Most males will die, never experience what it feels to be a man and to be complete respected by his women and children because he didn't step into that true king place. Brother, it's hard. I understand. It's difficult.
But do you understand though?
Brother,
do you understand?
Brother, if I didn't understand, I wouldn't.
There's no way possible you could understand.
Oh, praises.
No way.
Why?
There's no way possible that you can understand. No excuses to be a real man. All right, y'all, let's talk about it. I think first and foremost, what I'd like to do is go in.
I'm going in, I'm going in, I'm going in, I'm going in.
I know some women ain't gonna like this, but I don't care. I'm gonna go in on the women first, and then we'll double back and talk about the men. I want to talk about the women in these scenarios. Now, I'm gonna start with me. I've done 50-50, 60-40, 100-0. You name it, I done did it, because me and my man been together for 19 years, and we don't seen it all. Currently, as of today, December 2023, I am paying 0, and my husband's paying 100% of all the bills. That's our situation as of right now. Okay, but let me say this: I despise any ratchet, raggedy, lazy female who will sit back and lay up on her behind and watch her man stress and struggle. Now, that's just me. That's just B. B ain't finna sit back and watch her man struggle. B gonna get them scrubs out. I'm gonna get my jersey from the rafters, if you will, and I'm gonna suit up and boot up, and I'm gonna go to goddamn work. That's the type of female that I am. Now, I'm gonna keep it real. Do I want to work? No, I don't want to work no more. Do I still work? Yes, I still work part-time periodically when I feel like it. I'm all over the place when it comes to working. I live within my means, and we're going to talk about that too. But to sit back and watch your man struggle. Now, in this scenario, the man said he make 14 an hour. His woman worked too. She works 16-hour shifts, and she come home and still cook and clean.
Hell no!
Not B. I'm sorry, but I can't do that one.
Fuck this shit! I don't want no goddamn shit.
Yeah.
Fuck the dumb shit.
I can't do that. I don't know if he was trying to save face because he didn't know exactly where the line of questioning was going, but to work 16 hours and come home and cook and clean is crazy. You can't expect that from a person. There's literally only 8 hours left in the day. So, and that ain't even factoring in the commute. So that, no. But, you have to do what you have to do for your household. And I think a lot of us get caught up in the Joneses and what other people think, living beyond our means. And let me slow it down because I really want to get into all of this. But I know some females who will sit back and watch their man struggle. And I think that's completely inappropriate. And I think that's selfish and lazy. If we're in a bind and my husband doing all he can, and I can easily go work and get a job or something to help out, or we can cut back on something to help out, then I'm going to do that. I'm not going to sit back and say, well, you ain't no real man if you can't pay all the bills. I don't think that's fair, because a lot of us, speaking for myself, came from more humble means. A lot of us didn't grow up rich or wealthy, or some of us not even middle class. So I'm not okay with that. So that's on the women. Now let's talk about the men. I watched my father as a kid. Now, my father was a high value man. My father made a lot of money compared to any other man that I knew. And it wasn't even a lot of other men around to compare him to. So for me, I didn't grow up thinking that a man that I dealt with had to do the things for me that my father did. I'm just not that type. I guess I'm a realistic female. I know it's hard for men. Like the rich man stated, it's hard for men. And I guess I've always been sympathetic to that. I do have 2 brothers. I don't have any sisters. And I'm very close with my father. So I know it's difficult for men. So I don't beat men up like that. I'm not the type, if you can't buy me, a Benz or a Louis bag, you ain't ish. I'm not that female. I personally worked and grinded for mine when I was younger. But now, since a baby old head, okay, I'm knocking on the old head club. So I ain't trying to work like that. I can admit it. I really don't want to, hence the why my husband's paying all the bills, right? But I never looked at my husband or any man that I dated to say, if you can't take me to a 5-star restaurant, you're less than. I wasn't that type. And I don't know how these people are living. And that's what I really want to get to. A lot of us, in our communities, we do stuff ass backwards, right? We have a lot of unprotected sex. We have babies out of wedlock. We have unplanned pregnancies. And then it's crunch time, right? We got that 9-10 month window to figure out what we're going to do, where we're going to live. You have people who get pregnant who living under other people's roofs, okay? So I think that's one of our biggest problems. We get in relationships, we're so sexual and lustful, and then we make a baby and it's like, well, I'm only making $14 an hour. How can I take care of a family? And it's like, Ninja, why do you have a family in the first place? if you only make it $14 an hour. And I know that's like in a perfect world, right? In a perfect world, men are saying they don't mind doing 100, paying everything if women are more submissive and more feminine and are virgins. But let's keep it real. We've strayed so far away from that righteous path that most of us were not virgins when we got married. So men still have that idea like this is what we would prefer, virgins, but it's just not realistic. And over here, grown folk talk, we're going to keep it real, right? That's not as common as it should be. And I know a lot of us regret those choices, right? Same thing for men. Men have had sex with multiple women, and then they say, well, they want a woman with a low body count to be a virgin. And women are like, but you not bringing that. Why do you expect that from me? And men come back and like, but you ain't a man. You can't move like me. You know, that whole double standard. And I know so well about the double standard, which is why I don't fight it, because I grew up trying to fight it with me and my older brother. And I just realized my brother can do stuff that I just can't do. So I'm not one of those women who try to fight the double standard, because I know I lived it. I fought it all in my youth. So I ain't got no more fight in me. I completely get it. But these are the conversations that we're having, right? So you have a man who's saying, I used to make 14 an hour and I lived where I lived. And I don't know if I don't want to call him the poor man, but the not so rich man in the shorts, if he got what he was putting down. A lot of us live outside of our means. If you making 14 an hour, I'm assuming your girl making that, 16 something in that family, you can't have $1,200 a month rent, $1,500 a month rent. And I know some people feel like, well, no, the times that we live in, things are higher, inflation. And that all goes back to the man saying that you have to be more, I guess, proactive about how you move and planning out your life and your dreams. And you can't, so many black people, just to keep it real, y'all live outside of y'all means. If it's materialistic clothing, if it's jewelry, if it's cars, housing, people blowing money every weekend on liquor and weed and partying and clubs, and you find yourself in a position where you're not comfortable, and maybe that's why your woman got to work. Maybe your woman got to work because you need to downsize. Maybe your woman don't want to downsize, so she got to work to keep up that lifestyle. To each its own. I'm not really invested in anyone's personal relationship and how they live, because everybody lives different. Me personally, I've always believed in living beneath my means, hence to why I work when I feel like working, because I don't live extravagant. But some people, they want to live extravagant, they want to be able to flex, etc. But I liked when the man in the t-shirt and shorts said, I'm still working though. I might only make $14 an hour, but I'm still out here working. And I commend men like that, where society will look down on you. Oh, you only making this amount of money. But since when do we as the people knock a man who working 40 hours a week, who ain't getting in no trouble, who ain't making babies all over the place? You got to give credit where it's due. I'm sure he wants to be better and do more. But for right now, I want to give credit for that, because it's a lot of, well, let me not say a lot, but there's some men who ain't even willing to do that. So I'm not going to knock no man for making $14 an hour, working 40 hours while trying to figure it out. Some of us, I know I didn't figure out really what I wanted to do with my life on a serious note till I was 24. That's when I went and pursued my career at 24. So some people, they may be in their 30s until they figure out exactly what they want to do with their lives and the direction that they want their lives to go into. So I'm not mad at him for working his hourly position until he gets there. You know what I mean? Being in the trenches together, like I said earlier, I definitely was in the trenches with my husband when we first got together, and when we got married, we both worked. I understand that, and I have no problem with that. It was what it was. We did it, and now it's a time where my husband, like, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got to work like that if you don't want to. But it was a time where I did have to work, doubles and overtime to pay bills and depending on the situation that we were in. So, being in the trenches is commendable, I guess, but you got some women who just like, they don't want to be bothered with that at all. You need to have everything together before you even approach me, which is how things were done back in the day. But a lot of men feel like the women that are out here today are not worth that they don't. And if so, they want a more upper echelon, a more bourgeois type of female. To each its own. That's on the man and the woman as far as what you feel like your money can buy, if you will. So yeah, the rich man versus the middle class or the lower middle class man. I think that in a nutshell, you should obviously have your ish together before you have a kid. You should obviously have some type of financial stability before you bring a woman in, you know, and some women like to work. They need something to do. I know me personally, I like to work a little bit for my own more pocket money, for my shopping money or hanging out money. But if need be, I don't mind paying bills, doing whatever for mine, because I got to ride or die. Y'all know I'm ride for my men, my black men, no matter what y'all say in my comment section. Yes, I'm riding for my men because they ride for us regardless of what y'all think. They just want us to tighten up on our attitudes and our cooperation and our weight, our backs and stuff like that, right? So anyway, I'm gonna end the video here, and I guess in a nutshell, just to bring it all home, I don't mind going 50-50. I did it with my man. I do think that it all depends on that relationship, what they got going on, what their goals and stuff are. I know my husband sacrificed a lot to help put me through school. My schooling was a 2-year grind. I did work the entire time, a full time when I was in school, but my husband was obviously the breadwinner while I was going to school to get to where I am now, to be able to like not have to work like that. But you do have to have a plan. You know, I would hate to think that this man is like manipulating his woman. I don't know. I'm assuming you may have some men out there like that who want to manipulate women and use women. I don't personally know of it, but I'm not going to take those cards off the table. I do believe that you may have men out there who use women, because women have said it, that men use them, and then when they got to where they wanted, they dumped them for what they really wanted, and vice versa. We all know women use men too. So you obviously have to be careful with who you invest in and who you're building with. But for the right man, the right woman, I have no problem with it. I don't regret building with my husband at all. My husband is behind the scenes painting our bedroom right now. Okay, so I'm riding for mine, B1. Y'all already know that. This has been another episode of Grown Folk Talk. Please like, subscribe, leave me a comment. Let me know if you're willing to go 50-50 with a woman, or if you're going to pay 100%, and what's the requirement of said woman for you to pay 100%. Because some men, I know my grandfather did it. My grandmother never worked a day in her life. So it still exists with some people, but I just think that depends on the man and the woman if he deems you worthy of that. All right, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.